Talking about the pandemic, we've been in a lockdown now for a while. I can say it's been a while, and of course, there has been a surge in the demand. How is Dunzo coping up? Did you have the initial days, where you were trying to figure out there was a downhill?
The day the Janta curfew happened, right? I think that day was a little bit of not knowing exactly what will. Like, I think people are still figuring out what to do and what not to do, right? I think the one thing that I must say is that authorities in every city have been very responsive, and they've been extremely wanting to figure out as to how they can get the city's essentials moving, and that's about 60% of our business, and I think it took them about 48 hours time, but I think we must have been the only service that didn't go down at all. In small pockets in every city, at max we must have been out for an hour, but we kept pushing. At this moment, we are actually beyond our peak numbers. So whatever peak numbers we had established pre-COVID, we are above those. Fundamentally, we sit on being able to enable local retailers, and I think in this environment, the only people's supply chain that is actually really working and the government is able to keep open are the ones that local retailers have. Where if they can keep even 10% of the shops that are existing in a particular geography to be open during this period, we're just making sure that we are supplying goods from those stores.
How is Dunzo coping up with its deliveries when it comes to the supply chains who are working for different categories that you deliver?
Cool. So we are in three large categories, right? The first one is bike taxi, right? People used to transport themselves from point A to point B. That used to be about 15% of our business. That's gone to zero, right? So that business is right now completely non-existential. Then the other 20% of the business was courier, which means people are shipping packages from one point to another. So you might have forgotten your glasses, or your mom wants to send you lunch, or small businesses want to ship stuff from one place to another, right? That one went down for a significant chunk because we were only running essential services. As businesses are now starting to open up, and there is a little bit more of an understanding of what essentials looks like, that's back to about 75% of what the overall business will look like.
Okay.
The largest chunk of our business, which was about 65% of our business, was people buying from local stores, right? This was very essentials heavy. That's really what people wanted, right? So it was grocery stores, meat stores, medicines, fresh fruits and vegetables, and so literally anything and every local store that you can find out there. This part of the business has exploded. This has become 2x, right? And I think people are now figuring out more categories that they can Dunzo. They are learning about the fact that when they come to the product, they are able to go ahead and get stuff in 30-45 minutes, the kind of stuff that they can't imagine through regular supply chains. So that part of the business has really exploded, which is what is leading for the top line number to do all right.
Recently, we found out that a pizza delivery worker was tested positive in Delhi. How is Dunzo ensuring that its delivery network is safe for both the workers as well as the customer?
No, I agree. So that one was a little scary. Nikita, at the end of the day, I think there has to be a little bit of an acceptance of the fact that we are all living in slightly exceptional scenarios, right? Like, it's very difficult to build product infra processes that are going to be 100% in a scenario like this, because we are having to build literally in wartime, and this wartime, you can't really get anything to 100%. So we've implemented a lot of things, right? I think the number one thing that I think we can do, and the one that we are really indexing harder on, is firstly to be able to give comfort to delivery partners that in case there is a problem, they'll be taken care of. I think that's the number one thing that we are trying to index on top of, so that self-reporting can become a lot more acceptable. we have enough people on the ground, and at 25,000 or delivery partners have been won. The probability of somebody meeting an accident is also high. And so that's also something that you need to take as your own responsibility and make sure that there are enough checks and balances and policies that have been built so that they can get protected. All the motivation is driven from the fact that our consumers are thrilled by using the product and they keep thanking our partners. Like our partners have come up and said that, like a user stood outside their house and actually saluted them when they went for a delivery. Like what more?
There is a concern over the impact of the lockdown on startups and SMEs. You are a startup too. How do you see the funding landscape going forward?
I actually don't think any fundraising is easy. So that's my bottom line theory on it, right? Every fundraise I think gets reported when it's done. So no fundraise out there has ever been easy, right? Either there are macro factors at play, or there is competitive factors at play, or your own cohorts are looking slightly worse. And I think we got lucky with having enough capital in the bank that it wasn't that we had to close around in middle of this. That would have been chaotic, right? Principally, we believe that there is a consumer behavior shift that's happening.
I was actually coming to that. How do you think the consumer behavior and even the business landscape will change for you after the lockdown?
Correct. So we largely think of this as a positive for our consumer behavior shift, right? Where people who didn't know about the product are organically coming and looking for it, right? Secondly, people are now finding answers to problems that they didn't think they had. Right? So people walking up to their fresh fruit and vegetable guy was not a problem that people thought existed, right? But increasingly over the next 12 months time, this is going to be a problem. It's a more efficient way to lead life, but now this has suddenly become an organic part of the problem as much as traveling to office. I think we got a little lucky, and principally I think positive for the business in the medium to long term.
So the government has taken a number of steps, and they've been lauded as well. Any other measures that you would suggest the government should take, or something from the point of view of consumers, from delivery facilitation, and for startups?
Karnataka has been the one government that has been extremely proactive in terms of being able to implement stuff. I think merchants and small stores are getting produce, but the supply chains are fairly impacted, right? And those impacted supply chains, we believe the only way to unlock it is if you're able to get policy decision making on it. It's a lot better than the first week of the lockdown. I must accept, but okay. I think there is a path to go to be able to get sanitized. Higher degree of products into these stores than what it has right now. But daily wage earners, now these people who were making everyday money now suddenly are. Right? So we are clearly worried and want to make sure that their well-being is taken care of. Right? We are trying to communicate to them regularly, saying that, hey, this is what the situation in the cities looks like. It's okay if you don't want to come, whenever you feel like coming back, and we'll keep you posted regarding the number of cases, what's actually happening in the cities that you are functioning. Please just reach out and let us know. But honestly, I think they need to be able to hear from the government directly.
Dunzo has been very quirky with its social media posts these days on Twitter, Instagram and stuff. What are some of the things that people have been ordering the most? So you know where I'm getting at. But is that like a conscious choice?
I think March data kind of working. So I think April data will look different than March data. It was something that I think got missed in January. March data was still heavily skewed for the first 20 days of the month. We want to be able to attract great people to do great work. There is no censorship. There can only be advice at best. You just take the context of what is going on topically and change the tone around that. once agreed upon, you gotta live with it through a pandemic.